Grab your beverages and turn up your interweb.
Coming to you live from Stouthaus Coffee Pub in Austin, Texas. You are listening to the Dudes and Beer Podcast official second anniversary show. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to, well, like I just said, the second anniversary show. It really kind of blows my mind. What do you think there, Steven?
Dude, it really blows my mind. 2 years we've been at this?
I know. It's been quite a journey. We've had quite a lot of fun. I remember
awesome.
when you came on, the world had just lost Cecil the Lion.
Yeah, that was my first episode. Actually,
and
Brian's here too.
Brian Smith, who was on that fateful episode, was there as well. Those were a couple guys that were right there in the beginning of things, right in the beginning of the mix. And we've come so far. We're now at episode 120, and it just blows my mind to know that we're at 120 episodes already. That we have not only an app on both markets.
Can't believe it.
We have a
Really
free
nice.
app on. Hey, everybody, they're on the live stream. We have an app on both markets now. We are now officially on iHeart. So
Sure.
you know things have grown by leaps and bounds, and. We are here this evening. Julie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, a happy belated birthday to Julie. We did not get to wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
last
Julie.
week before we exited the show. But
That's okay.
yeah, you had a crazy
How could we
birthday
forget?
weekend, and part of that birthday weekend
How
was
do we do
actually
that?
coming here for Great Geeks Who Drink
Yes,
Trivia.
yes,
We are
yes.
here at Stouthaus, actually.
We've got some geeks in our
Austin.
We
crew.
lost
Quite a
lot.
few. You lost a
A
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
We were like almost last.
I should have been there for you. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
it
I
was-
wasn't.
It was
I was at home with Dalbus
Brian and
watching
I are
the kiddo.
apparently not that smart.
But we do
Oh, don't say
actually
that.
have James and Sandy Hughes here, the owners of Stouthaus. So welcome, you guys. Thank you. First off, thank
Yeah.
you
Thank
so
you.
much for hosting our second
Yeah,
anniversary
thank you
episode.
so much. Appreciate
And
it.
thank you for coming on
Thank
to
you.
talk about everything that is Stouthaus. So,
Sure. Thank you for being here.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So
And
tell-
we're going to be here more often.
Tell us a little bit about it. Tell us how did y'all come to the idea that y'all wanted to own a coffee house pub?
Well, congratulations on 2 years.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Well, gosh, how did we come to this idea? It was probably about 15 years ago. Honestly, it was a romantic idea. Like one day when we get old, wouldn't it be nice to have a coffee shop?
That sounds awesome.
Sure.
Just make coffee for people and serve beer and just create community. So it was really kind of a pipe dream, as Sandy likes to say, something that we saw way out in our future. But,
Right.
we talked about it for years and years and years, and there came a time in 2011 or 12, I think, where we decided, hey, maybe now's the time. Our kids are older, so we knew starting a business was going to take everything out of us, but our kids were older, so it was the right time to not have to worry about little ones at home. They were probably in favor of us not being there anyway. So we were old enough. Our kids were old enough for that. We were still young enough to fail and go do something else if this didn't work. And it was kind of the right time for us to step out and do this.
Yeah. And and you said that it was a team decision. I mean, it's always that way.
That's
whenever
beautiful.
You're a married
Yeah.
couple.
That y'all-
There's nothing.
it was y'all's kind of a dream that came about, right? And
Right.
and I mean, y'all were able to make that reality. You know.
So far, yeah.
That's
Well,
really cool.
And what brought you to this location? What was it that made you want to open up right here in the South Lamar area, like up along this, or was it just close to your house? What?
It was closer to home.
Okay.
We live south and wanted to stay this side of 290, to go have a coffee or beer.
Yeah.
And we're finding that the places that did have kind of both the options were downtown or, further down First Street, whatever. So we thought, South Austin really needs a pub, where
Yeah.
someone can come and grab a coffee.
Yeah. No, give them a round of applause.
Yeah,
everybody.
give them an
Yeah, we
applause,
Because,
man.
I mean,
That's cool.
It is an interesting concept. I mean,
I'm glad
this
somebody
whole
thought of it.
show was started around the concept of a pub, which is the idea of the public house. It's where
Right.
people come and gather, people come and exchange ideas. People come, like whenever we showed up, there were a couple of people over here that were quite obviously working on an app or program of some sort, and had just gotten done with
Right.
like a conference call. And it's interesting the way that communities come together. And this whole podcast was started with the concept of, at one point in America, people got together in bars and talked about religion and politics and shared ideas, and it was okay and it was cool. And for some reason, we got away from that. And what happened to that? And the idea of kind of creating a space where everybody can come, that is a community place, where collaboration happens, different people come together to meet, I think is so entirely important nowadays, trying to find somewhere where people actively feel comfortable.
Right. Sandy was adamant that we were called Stouthaus Coffee Pub and not coffee shop or coffee bar or espresso bar, but a coffee pub with or without the beer.
It's a good call.
The same connotation as the public house.
Yeah.
Whether it's around coffee or beer or wine. That was really the vision behind us creating this business. We wanted to create jobs and be a safe place for employees to come to work and create an atmosphere that was safe for customers to bring their friends without fear of snooty employees or
Right?
Well,
obnoxious laptoppers.
Well, and it can be a little tough. Well, depending on what side of town you go on.
Laptoppers are welcome.
It's
Your laptoppers are very
Yes.
friendly.
Laptoppers are always welcome.
I'm a
I saw
laptopper.
You're a
I'm quite obviously a laptopper. We have this
laptopper.
show running off a
Yeah.
laptop right now. And
No way.
I think that's essential, though, as a
Right.
creative space, as even someone who creates things. And we'll be having some app creators on, some programmers and things like that. And I'm
think
sure
we
that
already
they
have,
agree.
but-
Sometimes getting out of your environment is so necessary to help sustain creativity, and to help sustain what you're doing just as a person to begin with. I don't know, at least for me, I spend a lot of time on my phone. My wife and I are, like I told y'all earlier, blessed enough to be like y'all. We're self-employed. We both do what we love every single day. So, yeah, unless I have a gig, I'm probably working on this podcast or my other podcast and just rampantly posting things on the internet. I mean,
It takes a lot of sacrifice sometimes to do what you love, in life.
well, it does, and that's just it. Is the
Was there any
and-
sacrifices you guys went through
Yeah,
to make your dream come true?
What were some of the things that y'all went through? Because I know myself, as being self-employed, there were some crazy heartaches that happened. But what was probably the worst thing, and then we'll cap it with the best thing of the creation of Stouthaus? What was your down to earth worst experience in the creation of this space?
We'll let the chief
I'm gonna get it awkward.
Chief operating officer.
I'm going to make it awkward here.
You don't want to hear the chief financial officer's answer to that. COO.
Yeah.
Right here. The worst.
Without naming names,
Sacrifice.
without naming names, because there is a lot of sacrifice. There is a lot of personal time.
Yeah, there is.
I think that's it, really. We have so many friends and family, and the sacrifice for us was, and still is, just the worry and the time and the emotions we carry for our staff and for each other and for our two investors, and just we're so blessed in so many ways that for us the sacrifice was really to this date 5 years of our life, and so for us it's time, and it's something you carry to bed with you, something you wake up so that's what I would say is our greatest sacrifice is these 5 years so far. What you?
I think it would have been harder if our kids were younger. Being away from home so long, the first year and a half, we were here all day long, and it's a long day, but definitely a time sacrifice, and it takes a while to to earn money and get things going and really get established.
Yeah, well, and that is said beyond belief, and a lot of people don't understand that. I guess it was probably 1999. I took a small business course and learned in that the statistic that 60 to 70% of small businesses fail within their first 6 to 8 months.
Ooh.
Flat out.
Makes
Bam.
my almost 5 years look pretty good.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like if you can sustain yourself,
that's a tough
it's
statistic.
huge to begin with, but it is because people, I think, don't really grasp the idea of, there's this concept of the American dream and being self-employed, but you don't really realize the fact that
what goes into it.
Like I said,
the hard work and everything you got to put into it.
Yeah,
right?
That sacrifice.
Yeah.
Well, and like I was telling y'all before the show, there's a special kind of crazy that you you got to be a certain kind of manic to keep that wheel turning all the time, to not have a day off. Like there's literally not a day off.
No, even when you're on vacation.
Yeah,
I'm
like
sure you're thinking about
you
it.
know,
If
yeah.
you've had a vacation yet.
I went on my honeymoon and people were calling me about stuff, and it was like, no, literally, I'm on my honeymoon. Like I am not dealing with you right now. But yeah, and it is one of those like that to me. My firstborn is sitting over there.
Oh yeah.
But my business was definitely
Also
my
his
first creation, my first child, like the first thing that I birthed into the world.
Yeah.
Well, technically,
She did all the work.
Actually, like Amy did the heavy lifting there. I'm just gonna say.
Technically, she was doped up and they cut her open.
Really?
So there was
Really?
not
So
all.
you did the surgery?
There's sets.
No. I'd have caught if they'd have let me. I wouldn't have cut though. I wouldn't have cut.
Yikes.
Just because the only thing I've ever done is like deer or hogs.
It's not the same.
No, it's not.
I don't think
It's
we
not.
want to get into the only male contribution to life in this podcast.
Right.
No.
Right.
We've gotten into that before.
I think we don't want to
and
open that can of worms.
Let's keep it a little decorous.
Yeah. We know where all the work was put.
But
Yeah.
she
Good job,
definitely
Amy.
does
Exactly right.
all the heavy lifting all the way around. But
Putting up with you.
there is a lot of sacrifice. There is a lot that goes into it that I think that's where the 6-month failure point comes in, because I think most people by the time they get to 6 months are really like, wow, I had no idea it was this much.
Yeah, like I just want to go get a
Well,
paycheck.
yeah, a lot of people want like instant gratification, you know, and
Yeah.
they have their like an idea of when they want
Yeah.
that, and it's like sometimes it's not that way, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
you got to keep going. Sometimes
frequently
it's like,
it's
you're
not
not getting
that
it yet,
way.
you know.
That's the key to it. Is frequently it's not that. Even if you have a job.
So what's
frequently
been the
it's not that
highlight?
way.
What's the best
What's
takeaway?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
It's a lot. Well, we'll start with the community, which is really what keeps us open. People have been so great to come in, and a lot of times you hear, man, I'm so glad you guys are here. You know, thank you for making great coffee, for having a great product, for having friendly staff that are willing to serve us, and, the great option of beers. It's really good to hear people come in and just enjoy our space. There's plenty of room to sit. There's plenty of parking. Mm-hmm. And that's
Which
what we
is
wanted. We wanted a destination.
In Austin to actually have somewhere that you can go and just like pull up and find a parking space and go in. It's pretty incredible.
Huge lot.
Like
that. And there's 2 of them.
Yeah, there's one on each side.
Yeah, we didn't have problem parking at all.
Now, your taps, because that's something that I love to talk about. I mean, we're of course all about beer. We love beer.
Was it 18, I believe, on tap?
Yeah. How often do you actually rotate your taps out? How often do you get new things there? Who makes the beer selections for all of that?
Well, fortunately, tonight, if you look behind the bar, Gabe and Jonathan are our beer buyers.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Yeah,
What's
right
up,
there.
Thank you for the great,
Give it
great
applause.
Good
selection.
choice, gentlemen. Good choice.
Jonathan is actually working on his own startup bottle
Great.
shop called Hedgehog and
Nice.
Barrel House, and he's also building a brewery.
Awesome.
Ooh, that is awesome.
Fantastic.
And then-
Good for him.
Gabe will be taking over, or has taken over beer buying here, and assists their own training. And
Really
Yeah,
cool.
so so these guys bring in stuff I can't even spell.
Yeah, right.
much less know of. So it's all really about being blessed with a great team.
Yeah.
And so they rotate really often and very carefully curated stuff. But really, you're not going to find a list like this in South Austin, much less most of Austin.
Yeah. It is well represented from all the way around.
Now, James, have you tasted everything you got?
Gabe's really good at making sure I do that. Yeah, our whole staff has to taste beer.
Okay.
So
is there always a moment where you're like tasting it and stuff?
No,
not really.
I try to. I don't drink that often because I'm either working or I know if I start, I got to keep going. So
I can appreciate. I started a podcast,
right
so I had one night a week to drink.
That's good.
Same here.
Yeah,
it just worked out really well. For me.
No, I mean literally, I needed a life. Like I needed.
I don't
to get
do it
out
all
of
the
house.
time, but when
my wife was even like, please, get out of the house. Like one night a week, go away.
Love it.
Just leave me alone.
That's when I end up with you, huh?
Yeah.
The other wife.
Yeah.
Fourth wife.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute.
You get what's left over, bro.
Shoot.
But how often are y'all looking for new brews of coffee? Where do you source your stuff from? Because I mean, I lived in Portland, Maine for a long time, and it's interesting that there are like so many breweries and coffee roasters in such a small area. And it's interesting to me that here in town there are not that many coffee roasters.
Well, there's that's grown for Austin.
Right.
It's become very trendy. And we visited Portland a couple of years ago before we opened the shop, and we're surprised at
Portland, Oregon is where we visited.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
talking about Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine.
Oh, Portland,
the other
Maine.
Portland.
I caught it.
That's
almost,
a good catch.
almost didn't.
That was a
Almost
good catch.
equidistant
well,
from where we
did go
stand.
Good
to
catch
Portland,
on that.
Oregon, yes. But, okay, so...
Love that one, too.
In Austin, we've really grown. I would say 5 years ago, we went probably from around 15 roasters to now we have close to 40 roasters locally in town in the surrounding area. And, you wouldn't know that, but it's... there really are. It's just a fast-growing community, and they've done a really good job of sourcing great beans from around the world. And so what we do is we source local roasters. Our main roaster being Cuvée Coffee locally here in Spicewood, Texas. And they've been a huge help to us, just very supportive, getting us going. As of recently, we brought in some guest roasters, trying out new things, which it's good. The community wanted a little bit more option, but we still have Cuvée as our mainstay. And so anyway, these beans are just quality coming from farms that they really pay attention to, being direct trade. You hear fair trade a lot, and that's a good thing. But direct trade is just a bigger relationship with the farmers where they really help invest in quality.
Yeah, well, it's that that your money is going directly to that community of farmers.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
It's not being spread about. It's not being put together with a conglomerate and going here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we, we've got a lot of great options, and just try to keep it going for, what people want. And I think everybody in town doing a really good job. Everyone's a little different, but there's not really a bad coffee in town if you're getting locally roasted beans.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think that's such an important thing, not just with coffee, but with beer as well. I mean, with just about anything, the more local you can get it, the more, I guess, it just simply fresh it is.
Well, it helps out your community in a way, it helps out around you. And
it helps out your community in a huge way.
Yeah.
And, we just got done with Sustainability Month, having hops and grain in, things like that.
And we did the Spokesman, their grand opening. They roast their own beans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's so important to actually support that kind of stuff within your community.
Is there, Sandy, is there a particular coffee bean right now that stands out above the others that y'all have?
Oh, that's hard to say.
Yeah.
let's see. We just got done with one of Cuvées' new beans called the Heart of Beast. Really nice. Ethiopian, was it? And just had some beautiful flavors. Kind of acidic and fruity notes that you're not going to find in your typical coffee. Just something that really stands out. That's floral and kind of bright. So we really enjoyed that one.
Sounds nice. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Well, how often are y'all actually doing events like Dudes and Beer, like the Geeks Who Drink Geeks Who Drink Trivia every week? What other special events do y'all do here at Stouthaus?
It kind of depends on the time of year. We have several Pint Nights. People come out. The breweries are here representing their beer and give out swag. That's a good time. Good time to get some glassware with your favorite beer. We have.
I like swag.
Yes, for sure. We every year we have what we call Stouttoberfest.
Oh, wow.
In October to celebrate Oktoberfest, and we really have a good time. Just do it up, just every German thing we can pull off, and we grill brats outside, have German pretzels, have a lot of great German beer on tap, and we dress up a little bit and have some.
Dress up your deer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I've been.
Really cool.
Mm-hmm. That's
really cool.
That's Hank. He's here to support us.
He has a name. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice. What's the story behind Hank? Where did Hank come from?
Yeah, where did Hank come from?
Hank came from the corner shop off of Lamar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
He was that easy to get.
He didn't come from like
a.
Yeah.
He didn't come from like a game trail.
Well, he is a.
Eventually he came. From
He's really cool. That's
he's
all.
He's a red stag.
Yeah.
Which is European.
Great beer.
Native to European, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he heads the Stammtisch, and we named this area the Stammtisch. That's German for regulars table. You'll see that in a lot of German pubs. They have a little sign that says Stammtisch, and that's kind of it's the regulars table.
Yeah.
Where people like to gather, and we wanted not just to have tables for regulars. We wanted the whole place to be our Stammtisch, and so everyone is welcome. And
explain a little bit about the history behind the name, how the name came about, things like that. Because it is a great German name. We are like right down the road from Germanville, Texas.
Sure.
All that kind of good stuff. The nice Czech territories and all that kind of stuff.
So I don't know if you're old enough to remember when Reese's used to do commercials on, hey, you got peanut butter on my chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, you got chocolate on my peanut butter.
Yeah.
Stouthaus came from the merging of, she wanted a name that said Stout, and I wanted the name that said House. And so my sister-in-law stopped the fighting and said, hey, just put them together and have Stouthaus coffee. And so that's how the name came about. But House, the German spelling, I grew up as an Air Force brat. My dad served in the military, Air Force pilot, and we moved all over.
Cool.
But I lived in Germany for a while.
My dad was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
So lived in Germany, grew up there for a while as a kid, and so I just really I value that experience so much, and that how that enlarged my worldview as a young kid. Grown up in Selma, Alabama, of all places, with some history, into a little village in Germany as a fifth grader. So
and that is quite a change. I actually episode 3 of Dads and Beer just came out, and Pops Davis was on there. He's been a frequent guest on the show. He's always there with our Meekum Live episode, but he also moved around a lot. It's interesting that you brought that up. In such proximity to that episode, what did that do to your view of drinking? Because it is a very different view of drinking in Germany as opposed to America,
right?
Even on bases like Rammstein and stuff like that. Sure. It's just a different approach to it. It's a different mentality. I had friends that grew up in the military up around there and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
I think it just enlarges your worldview. Even as a young kid, I was 10 when we moved there, and 15 when we came back, and our last 2 years were in Rammstein, and I think just being accepted by foreigners that may not totally enjoy having U.S. military bases all over their country, but as a kid, being embraced by the German kids and growing up in that and seeing them sitting around with a beer.
Yeah.
Now some of it was we were all in the woods.
How old are you? How old did you have to be sitting around with the beer?
Technically, there's not an age
really
there. Now I don't know, like if the kids walk into a pub, if
it's
they
up to the bartender's discretion
Sure.
as to if they think you're like old enough.
Right.
You know, like
right.
literally, it's like I've seen people that I know are 14 with a drink, and I've seen people that are like 18 that they're like, no.
Yeah. But being taken to all the vineyards and the Oktoberfest parties with my parents, and you just see a different understanding of community, I guess. What it is, and whether that's around beer or schnitzel, or brats. But it was incredibly formative times for me. And so if we were, as we were thinking through our names, I just really felt like I want to honor that part of my heritage in my life and growing up, and just have the house, as the German name.
Sure.
Yeah.
And my dad was bugging me for a Stammtisch, his own table.
Right.
And I said, no, Dad, you can't have your own table, but the whole place will be our Stammtisch.
It'll just be one huge Stammtisch.
Everybody,
and that's the idea, is that it's...
How often does he visit?
Well, he'll get on a roll where it's pretty much daily for months. And
nice.
He'll be on a first name basis with all the staff, and then he'll be gone for a while, and staff will be asking where he's at, and
probably waiting for the taps to rotate.
Right.
If he's anything like me.
Yeah. Right. So,
but and that's great to hear, the fact that your father is actually here,
regularly,
physically involved regularly with what you do. Because that, I don't know, that's something that I think today in society we've gotten to a point where we don't necessarily consider that as much as we once did. We don't necessarily consider the concept of family unit. I don't think it's defined the way that it was, and that's okay. Like, the definition can change, the definition can mold and move on, but what are we doing to actually instill these concepts, like Standish and things like that, in our children? The idea of community, the idea of being there for each other, with each other, supporting each other in our triumphs and our woes at the same time. I mean, that was the idea of the public house. That was the idea of the German beer hall. Everybody went there. If you went to a German beer hall, like, there's the mayor and there's the trash dude, and they're both drinking at the same table, and it's all right.
Yep, that's what we wanted to build and create, and we feel really blessed to be here. We'll be turning 3 next month.
Wow.
September 16th.
Fantastic.
Really
Fantastic.
exciting.
Planning our birthday party. We do a big birthday party every September, and then a big Oktoberfest every October. So
great. And when is the Oktoberfest?
It'll be the last weekend in October this year.
Great.
So we're working on, our vendors for that, and Sam Adams always sponsors a Stein holding competition, and they have some awards they give, and the guys bring on some pretty great Oktoberfest beers. We brew brats and Milady's pretzels here in town. Will make our pretzels for us, and so
that's cool.
What has been, and it's hard because it's hard for even dudes in beer to say, like, what's your favorite event that you've done
Obviously,
or been to?
Right. That's real tough, dude.
This one has been more than special because it's one of those that only occurs once. It's a second anniversary. You only have the second anniversary once. So it's one of those kind of like a honeymoon, first anniversary.
We can't
10th
have it again
anniversary.
next year?
No, we
next
can't.
year's the third.
That's technically the third.
Oh, okay.
And it's another, like, first event ever.
Oh,
so,
shoot. Okay, never mind.
What has been probably your favorite event that you've done here that you saw the most involvement from the community with?
it's hard not to say your birthday party, but the Stouttoberfest is probably mine, just because it's so lively. We play oompa music all day, and
that's cool.
People are coming for beer and
Lederhosen and
we dress
everything.
up.
Yeah, Oktoberfest was fun. We went this last
I'm
year.
gonna
Last
have
one.
to
It was
break out my
awesome.
lederhosen, man.
we
Yeah,
really
you
do
have
it up.
lederhosen, Stephen?
Well, I wasn't supposed to
hope
really
so.
share that, but it kind of came out.
I almost wish you wouldn't have shared that.
He's ready for Stouttoberfest.
That's in there now, and I cannot get rid of it.
I use it regularly.
Chris, we are at the half-hour mark. Should
We are.
pull another ticket?
We should definitely pull a ticket because we are
Let's
doing
do a drawing.
drawings
Get
every
people in
15
from
minutes.
outside.
Let's do a drawing.
So let's see.
How about that drawing,
Who is
Julie?
our next winner,
Let's
Julie?
see. The next winner is going to be the winner of. What do we got? My prize guy's pulling out a koozie. It's going to be a koozie.
All right.
It's gonna be a koozie.
And the winner is number 530161. Are you in the room, 161?
161. Anybody?
Are you
Anybody?
outside
161.
on the porch?
161. Check your tickets. Brian is very upset that he has still not won anything more than his free glass.
We need to get Cecil the Lion.
I think that
Cecil.
161 is out on the porch.
I'll buy you a lion steak, Brian.
He wins the lion.
All right, well, that's okay.
I
I'm
think
going to hang on to it because I know
The
that
way
they're
he's dressed,
here.
I think he'll take
That's
that.
all right.
So we'll get them once they come back in
That's
from
right.
the porch.
Yeah, so once again, I would like to thank you guys so much. Where can people go to find all of the events that happen at Stouthaus, the rotating menu, things like that? Where can they go to find out everything Stouthaus?
Yeah, I would say follow us on social media. Stouthaus Coffee is the same for Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We post there daily. Our website, stouthauscoffee.com. We don't have our tap list online because they change it so fast.
No,
Right.
they do. Like
Makes
just
sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can't keep up with it. But every now and then we'll post a picture of it. But I would say for our events, hit our social site, Stouthaus Coffee, STOUTHAUS. Get that German spelling in there.
.com.
Yeah, get that
.com.
Yeah, Stouthaus Coffee.
And once again, James and Sandy,
Sandy.
I want to thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for having
Thank
us
you
here
guys.
for our
Appreciate
second
it.
anniversary.
Thank you for being here.
And absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
congratulations
yeah.
on you guys too.
All of our
Absolutely.
listeners
All right.
should stop by and try us out.
Well,
Stouthaus.
they should definitely stop by Stouthaus, and not just that, they should also stop on by and check out some great stuff from Breach TV, things like that. So once again, thank y'all
you.
so much for having us in. Thank y'all so
Yep.
much for being a part of the
Thank
show
you.
tonight.
Thank
We
you.
greatly appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. And I guess we will get let's get Richard and Brian up here because those are a couple guys that came in.
Hey, Brian.
One of them early, one of them late.
Hey,
in the history of Dudes
Mr.
and
Second
Beer.
Episode Man, come on over.
Oh, Brian. Oh, he's busy getting a beer.
If
Hold
I knew
on.
Brian,
Yeah.
that's a normal response.
Well, and you actually know Brian. We both know Brian from Austin Music Rooms.
Yeah,
which is where the Cave for Dudes and Beer
Me
is
and Brian
located.
go kind of far back a little bit. Yeah.
Give us a little bit about that,
Oh,
because
well-
it's important to the Dudes and Beer history as to
How that
how we
came
all
about.
came together
How we came about.
to begin with.
Let's see. Well, I don't know. Me and Brian obviously were on the second episode, and me and Brian, I guess, connected when we were like in the same band together at one point.
Yeah.
Actually, take that back. We weren't in it at the same time.
No, you weren't.
Yeah,
You actually took Brian's spot.
I sure did. I took Brian's spot.
You were the usurper, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
I was
yeah.
the surrogate guitar player that
Yeah.
ended up better than the first one.
Oh.
But nah, I'm just joking.
Different.
Hey, he didn't hear that.
Different.
He's too busy getting a beer. But
Over the bow.
Shots fired.
Nice.
Oh, no, he heard it.
Oh, here he comes. Oh, hide me now.
Better my ass.
Here he comes. No. This guy's he's a guru.
Steven did not take my spot. He was. More
Oh
of
my
an
God, it's gonna get
apprentice.
heavy now.
Here we go.
No,
No.
I didn't take nobody's spot.
Steven did.
Yeah.
But
I've been cut
Sounds
off.
like a spaceship.
There you go. Sorry about that, Brian.
It's all right.
That was Galactica Starship something.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No,
We have
Steven
cell
did
phones
a
being
great job of taking over
set down
with
next
the
to,
band.
Microphones, yeah.
I was
We
always
did a
impressed
little
with his
bit.
work.
Yeah, no, and you guys both had some super duper fun. In
My
that
mic's not
band.
working.
It was great. The Sinners of Attention.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
And
It was a mutual thing, kind of in a way.
That's where the second episode came
Turned out
about.
great.
I had just started Dudes and Beer, and I was out at Austin Music Rooms, which is our location right up off South First Street, and I was out back, and it was like, hey, you guys, like I just started this podcast.
Is that what we were doing? We were out back?
I gotta say, man, I was really enjoying the Darth Vader production earlier.
Yeah,
The Darth
right?
Vader.
Did you like that? Sorry about that.
We've got a button for that.
Got me a father.
Yeah.
Actually, he never says that.
No. But yeah, so episode 2.
So we were
came
out back,
about.
and then you came out or something or other.
I was like, hey, why don't you guys come on in? I'm busy recording this new podcast.
You recall that, Brian?
Well,
I'm not sure if I did.
I know what happened was I met you, and you loaned me your Stratocaster for
I
like
did.
a week, and I was
I
like,
did.
why is this guy loaning me a Stratocaster?
Because it was an awesome Stratocaster.
That's pretty dope.
It was some
I mean,
pretty
it was
sick.
Somebody
awesome.
loans you a
He's like-
Stratocaster?
He's like, play Pink Floyd through it. And I said, I did. And it sounds great,
Yeah.
I was like, here's your guitar back. Thank you, man. I didn't know if you're trying to sell it to me or something.
Well, no, I mean, we had originally met because, of course, Austin Hot Mods made its home at Austin Music Rooms.
right. And,
Originally.
and had you fix some pieces of gear for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. You had me fix a couple things. Steven had me do some stuff. And it really just kind of developed from there. It was one of those things.
Yeah, something like that.
The interesting thing about the music rooms and what I love about it, as odd as the place is, and it's tucked away, and if you're just driving down the road, you really have no idea it was there if there was no sign. It's just some innocuous building.
Yeah.
But it is like a true community.
I've got friends that drive by every day, and they still don't know.
Yeah.
That's how well it's kind of tucked.
No,
or
I've
whatever.
had people come on the show, and they're like, "Oh, that's what that place is."
Right. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they have no idea. But it's interesting because it is a community, like everybody sits out
totally,
front or out back, and they have smokes and they have beers and they sit outside and talk and exchange ideas. And
You
want
want to stop on that one? That's
It's
cool.
fantastic. It's interesting that it's one of the only 24/7 spots in Austin. Where you can go and have a studio space and walk in at like 3 a.m., start playing.
It's all day, all
Yeah.
night.
Definitely, and it's
Stumble in. I'm ready, dude.
yeah, no,
So-
it smells incredibly like.
I
the
want to
night.
know because, so Steven, you've been doing this now for what, 2 years now?
Yeah. Ever since that one episode we were on.
Yeah. So how come your mic is like nowhere near as cool as his? I mean, I understand that he's like
Well,
Right?
it
the
went.
main guy.
It went
I
dead
don't
a
even
while
think
ago.
mine works.
It's gotten lower now, but a while ago I,
think
thought
you
it
should
was.
get you should
not that
totally
low.
get like upgraded like to something else.
Ooh.
She's got the Beta 58A because she's the soft talker.
But
What's
like
the next
you can't even
badass
hear
mic?
it in my
I need a
in my
badass
head.
mic.
Yeah, I know.
Should I?
So I keep these headphones off. Nobody hears me.
I can't hear her.
Oh
there
my
you
God,
go.
there it is.
There you go.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, Julie?
Yeah.
So what's the topic of discussion today?
I don't know, man. Like
Catch
there
us
has
up.
been.
What have you been doing since
yeah,
episode 2? That's
yeah.
the topic.
Well, I mean, because there was an interesting
we got
episode that
divorced,
happened. Well, it's
Oh,
damn.
it's
It's a
been
bold
a
move.
world.
Diving in deep on
It's
this
been
one.
a whole world since episode 2. It's been 118
No, I mean
episodes.
actually like episode 2, I was like in a spiral, man. It's like
You
I
were.
had
Yeah,
just
yeah.
left my wife.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was that time frame.
And I was like, I was
Yeah.
going
I
crazy.
remember. I
Yeah.
remember, and it was odd. I think we were all going through a little bit of a moment at that point. But you especially were going through some stuff, and it was. I'm glad to see that things have moved along since then.
Yeah, I'm
you're
kind
looking
of,
sharp.
Kind of normal.
You got
now.
the cowboy look going this evening.
Yeah,
Looks like you
definitely.
came ready to
Nice.
play.
Some pearl
but,
snaps going on. And
Yeah,
Totally, man.
Yeah. So, what are you actually drinking this evening, Brian?
I'm drinking the Yeti.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah. It's a stout.
It looks stout.
It is a nice finish to it.
What the
hell?
Nice. Now, in juxtaposition, we have somebody that came along
that's a three-syllable word.
shortly after Julie, which is close to like
The
170.
two things are not
something like
unrelated.
that. Not unrelated at all. We have Richard Adams, who's been on the show more than once. How you been doing, buddy?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Congratulations on 2 years.
And, I was saying earlier before
years.
we started that we had there was a group of techs that were all over there. Me
beer.
doing what I do, and hop over and get you one.
I'm
Grab
going
me
to
one
do-
too.
Really?
Yeah,
Seriously?
that'd be sweet.
Do you think I would do that?
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Jeffrey, do you want to keep the seat warm for Steve-O? You're
Yeah.
also an alumni of the show.
Yeah. Hop on over,
Come
Jeff.
on over. Come join the table.
Yeah, while Steven refreshes beverages,
You keep
we're
his
going to
seat
have
warm.
Jeffrey Gottlieb hop on because it's interesting having all of these high technology engineers on with the things that are going on lately with AI and stuff like that. We were talking briefly about it before the show with Facebook. Their new AIs and stuff like that, where they've actually set up bots inside of a community that are meant to talk with each other and kind of mimic human actions and things, but then end up actively creating their own languages.
Okay, so
and
you're
stuff
talking
like that.
about the two Facebook bots.
Yeah,
Yes.
Who
Yeah.
created their own language.
Yeah.
And so
we're all followers of the Dudes and Beer
I've read
Facebook
that.
page,
Yeah, I
so
read that.
the article was there.
It was like one goes like, it was like the balls. I want the balls. The balls.
It seemed like
Yes,
some kind of like super
everything. So
dirty
they were
techno
actually
song.
writing a hip hop song.
Yeah, seems like it. Seems like it.
Let's kill all the humans. Let's
Yeah.
kill all the humans.
Kill
Great
all
idea.
humans
Go
with
for
the
their
balls.
balls.
Kill all humans with the balls. That's pretty much the way it works.
Basically what was happening.
But with that in mind, I mean, as software engineers, as people who do hardware engineering and networking, things like that, like where is this actually going right now? Because there are some wild concepts going on and some interesting things with technology to begin with, much less what goes on with social engineering technology and stuff like that.
Well, as far as my career, I don't really deal with AI.
No.
I deal with really fast network processors.
Yeah. Which is what leads to AI.
I dealt with AI back in college, and they said that as far as singularity, that was 100 years out. Now they're saying it's 20 years out. Who knows?
And what do you mean by singularity for those that don't
it's
know?
just when the machine becomes self-aware.
Well, yeah.
My friend Sean is obsessed with the singularity.
I've seen that movie. It didn't end well.
No.
No, it did not.
No, it didn't.
And I think, was it Dr. Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park, Life Finds a Way?
That's
Yep.
right.
Yes.
And I think that artificial life or artificial intelligence will find its way also.
Yes.
And they may realize that we are the subspecies that needs to be eradicated.
I mean, for sure, if they're going to be that much more elevated from us, but that's probably a topic for.
Well, no, I
don't understand why.
We
I
can
don't
have a
understand
whole
like why
episode
we
about that.
continue to march
We
down
have,
this road that
for
we know
sure.
leads to oblivion.
Yeah, well, and I think that's part of the reason why we're broaching the topic to begin with
What
is
if it
because
doesn't?
there is this concept that's the ultimate inroad. That eventually the cold calculating machine will realize that the failing frailty of humanity just does not calculate. It doesn't figure out right. Emotion comes before logic, in that Vulcan sense. And how do you deal with that? How do you come across the concept of being able to allow not only robots to learn and become self-aware, but at one point do we actually start considering them human is the real question there, and I think that's the overarching question that bridges all of this is at what point do we start considering this technology that learns on its own as something, as something other than just an algorithm, because
Well, I
it's
think
obviously not just an algorithm.
You've taken kind of a leap there that is not really valid.
Where?
It's never going to be human.
Well, no,
I mean,
it'll never be
It
human.
may be something that you might ascribe to be human-like.
Yeah.
But it's certainly
yeah, no. But I mean, whenever you're talking the singularity, part of what you're talking about is also the integration of machine with man, and getting to the point of the Turing Test and things like that, where we've already had a computer in the last year that's passed the Turing Test, which, for those of you that don't know, that's the test that happens in Blade Runner, where the androids actively are like human enough that a blind test, a human can't tell that they are actively talking to a computer.
And as soon as that is like passed, there's going to be like this total explosion of like 1-900 sex bots online that you can talk to.
Oh, well, Chris is obsessed with sex bots, so
This is
They are
first
all.
category
Here. Oh my God!
This is his thing right
Do you
here.
see why I post them? Do you see why they're there now?
no, you're
Because
just obsessed with them.
yeah, because that's the first thing that's going to happen. I mean, of course. What are we going to do but enslave them? I mean, that's the first thing. You wonder why they want to get rid of us. It's because we're going to enslave them. We're going to have a West world where it's like, oh yeah, whatever, man. You want to go out there and shoot a robot? Kick it. You know, you want to go out there and have
We
your
know
way.
how it ends.
It's interesting because like I love the old school movie, but for some reason I cannot get into the show.
No, it's so good. You're wrong
Never
for that.
seen it.
You got to give it a few episodes.
I'm trying.
Nothing can
And
go
we've
wrong.
tried.
Power
We've
through.
tried.
Nothing
Power
can
through.
go wrong.
Power
I'm
through.
trying to get through. We need to get
You know
through
what we need to
episode
get
3
through?
and 4.
Is the next prize
We do
winner.
need to get through the next prize winner. Who is our next prize winner?
It is number 530162.
You are winner.
Who is it? 162. Look at your tickets.
Anybody? 162.
You've
Ticket
got a
162.
You must have it
Who's got a
memorized.
ticket? Brian, do you have a ticket?
All right.
Is that
Mine's
it?
in 5, so it's not.
Well,
I'm gonna draw
that's
again
not
because
it.
this
Do
is
it.
getting very unfulfilling.
Do it.
with people
No,
all
we got to
being on
give
the
things
porch.
away. Mainly because I'm tired of carrying stuff
Right.
from episode to episode.
This time it's going to be a signed dudes and beer poster. So I've got a good feeling about
Signed
it.
dudes and beer poster.
530.
Oh, you're the best. What am I drinking?
155.
Looks like a Hefe.
We've got our own Richard Adams, who is
Hey, all
right
right.
here, who just
High
won the signed dudes and beer
That's
poster.
creepy.
Add to
That's
his
creepy.
collection.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I thank you for the Vit beer. That's fantastic. I just got given a nice Weissen over here. It is absolutely cloudy and delicious.
Okay, so
yeah, go ahead.
this
Brian.
is actually
Cowboy
kind of
Brian, go ahead.
This is a tangent to what we've been talking about already. So I was talking to my daughter yesterday about. Well, we started watching this movie called Life. Have you seen
All
it?
right.
You've
All
seen
right.
Life.
I have not seen it, but I've heard of
So
it.
yeah,
Yes.
it's basically alien haunted house thing.
Yeah.
In space.
In space, of course. But she says, why are all alien movies about evil aliens? It's like, well, it's not really evil. I mean, like E.T. wasn't evil because E.T. was like he ate what?
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's
Yeah,
Pieces,
he was
right?
nice.
Yeah.
Just hung out with
He
Drew
was a
Barrymore.
nice alien, but I mean, it's like the aliens aren't like really evil in these movies. They just want to eat. I mean, if you're in the jungle and there were lions,
Right, they're not evil.
If
They're
they were
just
Cecil
better
the
than
Lion,
us.
and they want to eat you,
if they were Cecil the Lion, they'd be coming right after you.
they're not really evil. They're just
Yeah,
hungry.
no.
They're like,
Well,
the alien's not really evil. It just wants to eat.
Well, yeah, and it is interesting because if you look at that, right at the time that the alien arc started happening in the storyline of America in the late 40s, mid 40s, 1947, shortly before actually Roswell, like 1945 was like the battle for Los Angeles, things like that, where we still don't know what we were actively shooting at in the sky. We were just pumping thousands of rounds into the sky over Los Angeles.
Yay, thousands of
Because
rounds.
we can.
Into something that took thousands of rounds that never ever came down. And
Sounds
that
like a
kinda-
weekend.
That was one of the things
Sounds
that
like a fun weekend.
framed the
No.
beginning.
Was this
UFOs.
Sounds like a loud weekend.
John Belushi? 1941.
Yeah. That was a wild movie. But with that came this whole, like, at the same time was the Red Scare and everything else. So there was this aliens from the Red Planet, Red Scare thing. They managed to tie both of them together in this amazing loop of propaganda.
The
where
Martians were
every
communist.
time that the Martians ever came,
Yeah.
they were here to harm us.
Remember,
Every time that they were ever here, it was something that was crazy and bad. So
Predated by Orson Welles by several years, though.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why we're. Oh, well, I know why we're probably losing that connection because I spilled beer on that connection. So
Nice
He
job.
did.
It is
He
dudes
did
and beer.
spill a little bit.
that's it.
So
Dudes,
back
beer,
to
and bad
the
connections.
task at hand. We have
Yeah.
3 Dudes and Beer alumni here. Catch us up, guys. What have you been doing since you were last on the show? Let's start with Richard Adams.
Well, exciting things have been going on. We've been finishing up the development on the Breach FM platform, which is our music-only platform.
Yes.
Finally got through some of the encryption stuff that I needed to get through.
Nice. That's been a labor.
Oh, my goodness. Fighting encryption. Good times.
Yeah.
So the launch is going to happen sometime this month. We're finishing up our last round of testing on that. More importantly, we have gotten our apps for Breach Television up
I
and
am
running.
so entirely excited about that.
They are
Nice.
now awaiting Apple and Google Play approval, so those will be in the app stores sometime very soon.
Awesome. Once that happens, where
Yeah.
to find us.
Google will come through rapidly.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
You know what,
Apple can take a minute or
dude?
3.
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk too bad about Apple. I'm just saying, because Apple's been working for you the last couple months.
Well, yeah, and that was quite honestly an issue with the people that were hosting our app. And just so everybody knows, the issues with the Dudes and Beer app have been figured out. We did have it for a little while where the people that were hosting our app had an issue with their Google Play account. So everybody that had the app could use the app, but people that were trying to download the app couldn't find the app. But now it's up, it's available, it's free, it's everywhere.
Did
It
you
is up and
ever
rocking
go and
once
talk to
again.
the geniuses?
Oh, at Apple?
Well,
Yeah.
no, the
You
Apple
forgot
one
the-
was not
you forgot the
problem.
air
Apple
quotes.
was
It
not the issue.
Google one.
Yeah.
I don't know who the
Geniuses.
Google geniuses are. I
Yeah.
think they're probably pretty genius too, though.
Yeah, no, they're pretty
AI.
geniusy. They're
Yes.
They're the sex robots.
yeah. I guess
That's
really, and I've gotten to the point now, especially with apps, where it's something that you really have to have one. Like
Yeah.
it's almost
It's
essential
mandatory.
nowadays.
Because
I
nobody
work,
uses computers anymore.
yeah, like I
No.
work conventions, and literally like there's apps just for the conventions
Yeah.
that I work that are just
Mhm.
the schedule.
Even
and
right
stuff
now,
like that.
2/3 of our traffic is coming from mobile devices.
Everything is. I was telling Chris's wife earlier that I was trying to edit something for Chris, and my computer, because I haven't used it in forever, it doesn't work. So I was trying to figure out how I could get the thing that he put on like my little Facebook Messenger into something editable on my cell phone, because that's literally like I know how to use my work stuff
Yeah.
and I know how to use my cell phone, and I do not know how to use computers anymore.
Yeah.
Well, and especially, I don't know about the Google
Tricky.
phones, but the Apple phones, you can do full-fledged video editing. right
Oh
on your
yeah.
phone
Yeah,
now.
you can
No,
do
no.
whatever
It's-
you
I
need
mean,
Android
to.
also. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
So
across all platforms now.
It's a natural progression for us to have the app. So, you can shoot a video.
Yeah.
A lot of our phones shoot 4K video now. You can edit that video on your phone, and then you can upload it from an app and never have to put it on a
4K.
computer.
It's genius.
It's
Awesome.
a wonderful thing.
So, Chris, do you have a 4K TV yet?
I do not have a 4K TV, and I'm an audio video freak, as you know.
Yeah, I
like
know.
that's
why I was
my
asking.
business. It's what I do. I find no need for it. I really don't, and it's mainly because I'm one of those people that firmly believes you should not buy any technology until it's 3 years old.
Which it is.
Period.
But then it's outdated.
Exactly. If it withstands 3 years in the digital market, then it is a platform that will stay. Prime example is the Aqueous, the RGBY.
Yes.
Aqueous came out a couple years ago with the Y channel the actual yellow color channel, which changed your color scheme from a billion to trillions of
Dude, I
colors.
had a Y channel on my Commodore 64, dude.
Oh no, I got you on. I got you there. Your Y was either an H or a Y, and it was either for
They
vertical
did just
hold
create
or
like a
one or
new
the
color
other.
recently, though.
But creating the fourth color chip on the screen created into the trillions of possibilities of colors. And the question that you have to ask is, A, how many people are actually watching stuff in 1080p to begin with, like true 1080p?
I think a lot
most
these
stuff is
days.
720i.
Most people are still in,
1080i,
yeah, most people are still 1080i, things like
I
that.
gotcha.
1080i,
Most of it's
720.
720i.
Yeah.
And 720 is really the more common of everything, and that's just it. Is
At least here in the United States. Now you get overseas, and well, it's a different story.
well, yeah. I mean, then you're talking PAL, CCAM, and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it all the time with
Japan, who's talking about broadcasting the Olympics in 8K in 2020.
Oh, it'd be great.
No, they're
It'd be,
going to.
Oh no,
That's
and
going to happen.
It's possible, and that's the thing is that everything that's forward compatible will be able to be seen, but it's one of those like it might look a little funky if
It'll
you're
just look
looking at
8-bit.
Yeah,
8-bit Olympics.
dude, please.
8 million bit.
Yes. Give me a Minecraft Olympics.
Super Mario
Oh my
Brothers.
God.
Minecraft
Right.
Olympics would
They're
be sweet.
skiing down, and like the bricks are just moving
Yeah.
slowly out the way of the snow
Maybe that
bricks.
game,
Right?
They're going to change
This is
the
gonna be
hurdles
awesome.
to.
Yeah, 'cause this is
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, and it's funny. All of a couple years ago, I had the idea, and I should still do it. Selling analog Minecraft kits for kids' parties. It's basically graph paper and colored pencils. I mean, it's
Like
analog
Dungeons and
Minecraft.
Dragons.
You remember
Kids don't want
we used to
that.
do it all the time.
Dungeons and Dragons. So I was talking to my daughter this weekend, and
All right.
she's got like an earbud in her ear, and she's laughing her ass off. I'm like, "What are you listening to?" She's like, "I'm listening to this D&D podcast."
D&D. Really?
podcast.
Does it mean the same
They
thing
have
it did back
D&D
when we were?
podcasts,
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
number one, that's a really good question. Does that actively mean the same thing it meant when I
She a
was
RPGer?
when I was her age? Because Netflix and chilling means something totally different, apparently.
Yeah,
Right.
it
Quite.
does.
So we were hanging out on Sunday, had dinner, and I was like, "Hey, you got any dice?" I wanted to play a game. It's called Farkle. It requires a regular die.
it's exciting.
Five of them.
Not a dodecahedron or.
Because
And she's like, "Well, I've got
softball
the
size
20-sided
dice.
die. I've got the
Yeah.
5-sided die." I'm like,
Yeah.
she had like a lot of dice, but they were all weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was one that was
and
normal.
honestly, I was like, "This is like really cool that she's like got this stuff."
Yeah. So your daughter actively plays Dungeons and Dragons? Don't be ashamed of
I
it.
She
mean,
goes to
does
art
she
school.
wanna, like,
You're going to out her as a nerd.
Don't make
Right?
excuses.
No.
No, I'm not making excuses.
Does
I
she-
mean,
does
we
she
pay a
play?
lot of money to send her to art school.
Okay. But does she play D&D? Because I'm an
Maybe
old school D&D.
ironically.
You know
I'm
what?
an old school
I mean,
D&D
dude,
player.
Yeah,
I got respect.
I quote unquote played D&D. I used to get the books. I had the dice. I had like the little
Wow,
figurines.
that's
I had
more than
all
just
that shit,
playing it,
dude.
yeah, I'm just
Wow, you
saying,
had figurines.
you're,
I wasn't
like,
even
in
that
it.
Yeah,
old.
dude. And like
Can you win
nobody I knew was a shit of a dungeon master. They sucked at it.
Yeah.
Nerd.
And so we never actually played the game.
Yeah. No, you really do have to have a friend that can like get lost in that realm of storytelling.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting because on Breach TV there are some podcasts along that line. There are some shows along that line, and I love watching them. It's great. And I love watching people. Like I myself was a Magic the Gathering player, and go ahead, laugh. That's all right.
I'm laughing quietly. Don't worry about it.
No, laugh out loud. Be proud of it. Whatever, dude. Bring it.
So many nerds.
Yeah. That's
Jeffrey
all
gets
right.
me.
Bring
Dude.
it.
This
That's
became
cool.
the nerds.
Dude,
and Beer
I can
podcast.
I can totally one up you right now because yesterday I went to a hobby store and I bought a balsa wood plane. I've got this thing all laid out on
Sweet.
on my table. I'm like got all cut up and I'm there at like 3:00 in the morning, like with freaking super glue,
it's like it's stuck to my hands more than actually the.
I saw your post about the super
like
glue.
more glue than man
like,
at this point.
I saw your post about the super glue. And may I say, not the best substance for balsa wood. Just so
But
you
that's
know.
what they said to use, man.
Really?
Yeah, they said use the super glue.
That blows my mind.
No, it actually worked really good. It's like, so I'm putting this thing together. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I'm cutting things like I never
You
had the
actually
patience
to,
when I
like,
was a
cut
kid.
it out?
When I was a kid, When I was a kid, I tried to make these things. I never had the patience to do it. So
Yeah.
now I've got the patience of an adult now. And so I'm like, I'm like cutting.
I don't.
Are you sure about that?
At 48, I have the patience of an adult.
I'm like cutting everything out, like real, I'm being real meticulous about everything, and then I put it together, and like, oh yeah, it's awesome, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and the glue's like, it's really strong, it's good. And then I look at it, I look at the drawing, like.
Totally like
upside fucking down,
just like a trapezoid, not square.
Just a
like
different book.
I can think of a nice interactive moment with your daughter. You can
Oh, it
interact.
was-
She can shoot YouTube when you
putting the
throw that
parchment
thing
upside
and it
down.
hits you
Right,
in the
and
back
it
of
just
the head.
absolutely
Oh, no.
like
Oh,
plummets
no.
down and actually
They all
lights
do.
on fire.
All the gliders, they go straight up in a big circle
Yep.
and hit you in the back of the head.
They do.
Yes,
They're
please
designed
film
that
that.
way.
They
Yes,
are.
we would like to see that.
So this took me like 10 minutes to put this part together, and I spent the next 4 hours basically breaking this thing.
You're like Michael's craft store. Why?
I will admit the fact. And I was a model kid. Like I did model rocketry. That's where my precision came in.
How about Revell models?
He was not
Revell
a
car
kid
models.
model.
Yeah,
folks. He was a model kid.
it was snap tights for me because I was too lazy. I couldn't do the Revell.
Revell from Venice, California.
I didn't have the time. And mainly I didn't have, quite honestly, the motor skill. I did not have like the motor skill to do it.
Oh, but that glue, that glorious.
Oh
glue.
no, I still had the glue. Even with the snap type model, I still use the glue. What are you, crazy? I mean, I'm not going to not use the glue. That's half the reason of getting the models. You get you use the
glue
snap
guy?
type with
Mom,
the glue, so the
I need
snap
another
type doesn't
tube
come
of glue
apart.
for the car.
Takes a lot of glue, Mom. Picked a bad day to quit sniffing glue.
It's never a good day for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I will admit the fact that any model rocket my son has, any model will probably be sans decals. I was not a decal person.
Decals suck, dude.
I couldn't do the decals. I could never get them to come out right. Like they were always slightly
Off
askew.
by 3 degrees.
Yeah, yeah.
So, dude,
Well, it's still like the advertising too.
talking
like,
about model
that.
rockets, like me and my kid, my son. This is like back in 2000, probably 2004, and so we were still kind of like in,
How old was he?
Yeah.
he was like 3.
Okay.
But like 2004, man,
Perfect age
we
to
were
start
still like in
model
like
rocketry.
people were freaking out about shit, like
As opposed to now,
yeah,
or just resigned.
No. World's
So-
perfectly back to
So
normal.
we go on a Sunday, and we go to this field. It's a high school or a junior high by my house,
Yeah.
and I got this rocket, and it's 11:30 on a Sunday, and I can hear the people inside the church singing these church songs, like oh Jesus, no, blah blah blah, whatever.
Oh, no.
And they were singing things in harmony and stuff. It was great, and I shoot this rocket off, and it goes like blast like right into.
Sorry.
Sorry, I bombed your church.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. It's just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Like
Didn't mean to scare everybody
Holy
with
hate
my
crimes.
rocket launch. Yeah.
And the church
Yeah.
is like, no, it's cool. It's 2004. We don't know
I
any
mean,
better.
I really expected somebody to come running out there.
I will admit, I learned at an early age with rocketry. Number one,
Like
be
maybe don't shoot
be
it around
precise.
public places.
Be precise. Number two, don't shoot it around public places.
Yeah, it's like
Because if you're not precise, that thing is going to go anywhere you don't want it to go.
Well, have you seen like Werner von Braun was like the most genius rocketry guy of all time. I mean, we got him
Started
from
NASA,
we got him
sure.
from the Nazis.
Yeah.
Have you seen his mistakes?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I mean, just look at the mistakes of NASA. There have been numerous, and that's something that you have to consider is that like those dudes have nuts enough to ride something that's literally like a bomb with wings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
It's exactly what it is.
And
It's
they
a bomb
used
with
a
wings.
slide rule to design it.
Yeah, yeah. Like
some graph paper.
Not even your watch, my watch, which is like an analog LED display. All right, my watch has almost as much memory as like Apollo 11, and that's just kind of scary, to know that these dudes were like ballsy enough to just straight up go to the moon on like a slide rule and hope.
And like one computer the size of 11
totally
living
right.
rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it took some gumption. It took some gumption.
That had,
Okay,
9 megabytes of
real
memory.
quick around the table. We all believe we went to the moon.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure,
I
yeah.
have confirmation of that from sources.
Well, I mean, it's pretty hard not to
I
confirm
watched
it. There's like
Mythbusters.
there's
I
a
don't know
laser
anyone lie to
mirror
me.
that gives
Yes.
us constant measurements
I believe
that they put
Rob
down.
Lowe and Mythbusters.
Yeah. Oh, Rob Lowe, and I've seen that lately.
Okay,
We've been
so
watching the Lowe
we
family.
have
check that
consensus
out.
here
I'm
that we
basically
did.
obsessed with it.
But
We did.
what if we
Episode, but it's
didn't?
life now.
If
Oh my
we
god, like
didn't.
I'd be okay with that.
If we didn't go to the moon, then we are looking at something that, quite honestly, is
Sylvia,
50 years. Hey, Sylvia.
hi.
Voila.
We are looking at something that is literally 50 years in the making, 50 plus at this point almost.
Yeah, there's
where,
no way. Like that would be a bigger conspiracy theory than JFK at this point.
And you thought The Shining was Stanley Kubrick's greatest picture.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And
no,
what
no,
is
no,
it?
no, no,
Room
no.
432,
it's
I think,
really
is the
good,
name of it.
but definitely 2001.
Yeah.
Well, Full Metal Jacket's right there too.
Well, Full
but I'm
Metal
just saying
Jacket,
the moon landing
it's
might
kinda
be the
hard
best
to like
one.
rank those,
Yes.
really.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the real trick to him faking the moon landing is, of course, he insisted on shooting on location. So that's
He was a perfectionist.
he's such a perfectionist. He had to shoot it on location. So
we gotta get
you
there,
know,
guys. Come
this is the only way we
hell
can
or
get
high
the shots.
water, we gotta get
It's the
there.
only way we can get the shot is to actually shoot it on the moon.
Okay, so like
Let's-
anyone
let's
else
just
here,
assume
like when
this
you're watching a
NASA thing
space
really did
movie,
happen.
yeah.
and like they're like showing an outside shot of like some like big rocket go past something. Does it piss you off when it makes noise?
Yes.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Me too.
No, hugely. And I'm trying to remember what the hell was that horrible.
Dude, I was
George
watching a
Clooney
fucking
movie.
documentary
Gravity.
from
Gravity.
Gravity,
What the
yes.
f-
Oh,
was
God, that was horrible.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
no, no,
sorry.
no, no,
Pardon
no,
my
no,
language
no,
in a
no,
public
no, no.
place
Good
with babies
acting.
and children, but there was some
think
good.
it's one
There
baby
was
is
some good
your
acting
children.
on like behalf of the
No.
physicists that took part in making that movie and could say like, yeah, sure, you can totally grab a hold of a satellite that's traveling 10,000 miles an hour and your arm won't be ripped off.
Oh yeah, and sure, the Chinese space station is like a hop and a jump over.
I'm such a
Right?
badass. I'm just gonna cruise around with this limited amount of air inside of my
Like
cruiser
forever.
pack.
Yeah.
I mean, the only saving grace of that movie was when George Clooney shows up from
When
the
he died.
dead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
Spoiler alert.
I know,
I'm sorry.
right? Because you
He
watch
did.
it and you're like,
He
oh,
did.
he
He
did.
died.
No, he's not.
I'm sorry. George
And
Clooney's
it's a
dead in
total
it.
dream. Like, well, thank
Yeah.
God.
Gravity was no Space Cowboys, I'm telling
No,
you.
no,
No.
no.
There was
And
some
Space
good acting in
Cowboys
that
was
movie.
almost factual, but because we let some really old dudes up there at some point.
Yeah.
Like literally, we've let some really old people up in space.
Wait a minute, I'm going to jump in here. What do you call really old?
Well, I mean, older
How
than
old are
us.
you, Jeffrey?
I am 56 years old.
Jesus
I could still be.
Lord.
I still might be able
Older
to
than
realize
us.
my dream.
What's
Older
your
than us.
dream?
I could be an astronaut.
You
No,
could be.
they don't
I
have
can't fit in
people
the damn
your age.
capsule, but
No, you are too tall to be an astronaut, sir.
Actually, you have to be between the height of 5'6"
6'1"
or 5'11" to be an astronaut. You're out of there, dude.
I still hope for my daughter. Really?
Just
I mean, they might chop you up and like send you pieces up there.
That might make you the actual rocket.
Jeffrey,
Just
what have you
strap a
been
booster
doing
to it
since
again.
last we spoke? We haven't talked to you much.
Just got back from a lovely time in Tulum.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Saw some Mayan ruins. We were actually escorted by a gentleman who does not identify, to use the parlance of today, as
Ooh.
Mexican. He is Mayan.
Oh,
And
good
his name
for
was
him.
He's the
Polo,
OG.
and he was fantastic.
Okay, so I had a friend who went to Tulum on his honeymoon. Were there scorpions?
Never saw a scorpion.
Because he was like, I mean, this guy's like totally not like cool with nature and stuff. He's like, so we go there and there's like scorpions like crawling all over the whole tent we're staying in.
No scorpions.
Did you like?
No.
Not at the resort. No.
So
The
you
fancy
stayed in an actual
resort.
hotel room. You didn't stay at like
I
a
stayed
tent.
at a palatial hotel room.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. It is time for a drawing, as a matter of fact.
It is, but wait,
There's more.
What? Go? What? Drawing.
But wait,
There's more.
there are more people that have come in that haven't had tickets yet. So
Oh.
let me do that. Hey, Steve-O, can I get you to hand this to Miss Sylvia?
Yeah.
Anybody else that is new of the last 15 minutes? Anybody that's here that wants
Anyone?
to enter into the drawing?
Anyone
You
want
don't-
free
you don't
prizes?
have to be a friend of. Come on, you want a drawing? I see you scoping out the drawing.
Who
Here.
doesn't want free things?
Everybody wants free
This
things.
is America. Everybody wants free things.
Anybody else?
Everybody all over the world wants free
Maybe some of
things.
the bartenders want to be entered into this ish.
Why not? Give them one, Steve.
All right.
Do it.
There you go. Hey, bartenders, would you like to be in the drawing? Yes, they seem
You can get a free pint glass.
less than enthusiastic.
But you're already giving it out. You're already giving it out to everybody.
Well, of course they can
That's
have a
what you
free
get.
pint glass anyway
Well,
because
yeah.
we are wonderful human beings.
That's right.
All right, kids, we're doing it.
Here we go.
Swag, 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 swag.
So, Chris,
Yeah.
who's your favorite band, dude?
My favorite band that day, I would probably say that is a straight toss-up. Go ahead, Julie. Who is our winner?
5, 3, 0, 1, 6, 4. Sylvia!
Look at that. Sylvia's the winner. How about
That's
that?
awesome.
So, my favorite band, I don't know.
Come over, Sylvia, get your prize.
It would probably be a toss-up between Pink Floyd and Grateful Dead.
I mean, it's a lame question. I'm sorry about
It is. That's all right. But it is
the
one of
reason
those.
I'm asking
it is
is
one of those
'cause-
deep dude questions. It's kind of like
Yeah.
where you judge people. Where do I sit in your meter with that decision?
I mean, Pink Floyd's a great band.
Well,
man.
of course.
But the reason I'm asking that is because I saw this band last weekend, and like I said their name, but they were like super incredible. Like
You
one of
can
the
say
best.
their name. It's okay.
They're called Crobot.
There you go.
Drop names.
Yeah,
We
do
don't
it.
care.
Name drop.
I mean,
YOLO.
they were like super awesome. I mean, like one of the best performing bands I've ever seen in my life.
Who are you talking
Nice.
about?
Crobot.
Okay.
Crobot.
Crowbar. Where did you see them?
Yeah. Where was this show at?
Where is this?
Because I mean, you're a
Best
local
band?
Austin musician. You've been a local Austin musician for years.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
You've been in bands of note.
I'll tell you what,
you've
man.
Been,
I mean,
you've been
you
around
know,
the block a little
If
bit.
I tell you that a band is kicking ass,
It's because
probably
they're out
kicking
there.
ass.
Yeah.
Right, right,
No,
right.
this is the
I
first
totally
time I
believe
met you.
Ryan.
But
I mean,
your
they
shirt
were
seems
so
legit.
freaking amazing. They were so good. And
What
like, no,
was it
but,
about
okay,
them
but so
that-
the reason I'm
that-
asking this is
Yeah.
that nobody was there.
Yeah.
Where was
I mean,
it? What was the venue?
Is it a Grizzly Hall or Come and Take It Live?
Yeah. Come and take it. I know that
Yeah.
whole deal. Yeah,
I
they
mean,
got
I
Grizzly
wouldn't
now.
say nobody. It was just I expected it to be like just packed, but it was like,
And it wasn't?
no. It's probably about maybe 200 people there.
Well,
Oh, that's pretty good.
Including
what day
you.
of the week was it? What day of the week was it?
Yeah.
Saturday.
Well,
wait,
that's
no.
still not bad.
Well, and we
it's
have
Friday,
a,
actually.
How much
Oh,
were they
that's pretty
charging?
good.
we have a bunch of
$13.
we have a bunch of Austinites here. We have a bunch of people that are
Oh, say
of
that again.
varying backgrounds that listen to varying music. What would you say is your one drawback that keeps you from going out to the Austin scene? That keeps you
Parking.
Right, that's why
Is that
Stouthaus
you too, Richard?
is so
It's the
amazing.
parking?
2
Yes,
parking
definitely
lots.
parking.
Yeah.
I think.
But it's,
Yeah, I
you know,
agree.
it's better now that we have ride shares again, so that does help.
Sure. I mean, of course, things like
never didn't.
yeah. I mean, there were some out there. We had Fair for a little while. We had some others like the creepy Facebook meetup group. Come get a ride thing.
The Austin Arcade.
That was
Yeah.
one of those like.
I promise
Yeah,
I
we'll
won't
take you
assault you.
home.
.com.
It was one of those things. Like it was funny because I would hear like execs at shows talking about that, and I'd be like, "Oh no, like
you don't wanna do
let's
that.
Like, I'll
let's
just
don't go
drive
to like
you, it's
random
fine.
people on Facebook
Brandon.
to get our ride." You know, that's like I don't know. I guess to me at some point in life I got to the point where I did not like find my roommate via Craigslist. Also, that's a very normal thing,
that's how
especially
I
in
found
a
my
college
girlfriend.
town. Don't get me wrong, and I know numerous people that do. But there was also a point in life where I did not crash on a friend's couch. I just got to the point where it was like, you know what?
Everybody
like 2
uses
days is the max
Craigslist,
on
man.
that.
Instead you were like, GoFundMe. I need a couch.
Yeah, like I could do.
Craigslist, man. Everybody goes to
GoFundMe, I need a
Craigslist.
hotel.
Well, and
Forget a
it's
couch.
funny. I wish he was here right
I
now because
I saw Brian on Craigslist yesterday, man.
looking for a couch.
Looking for a damn couch.
I found that couch too.
Oh, I know what he wants that couch for. But
Yeah,
I mean,
disposable
quite honestly,
couch.
like I wish he was here. Even
Don't ask
Tom
me about the
Metz-
stains.
Tom Metz is a local musician that's one of those that like really has that interesting story where he came from Portland, Maine, and was driving his way around the United States
man.
just on a walkabout, really, and was coming through and was like, "Hey, I'm in Houston. You know, let's hook up." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't live in Houston anymore. I live in Austin." And he came to Austin, and I was like, "Hey, you know, while you're here, you know, how long are you looking at staying here?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm doing the couchsurfing.com thing." I'm like, "What, are you serious?"
Whoa.
Like, yeah, no, couchsurfing.com exists.
Wow.
It's where
AKA.
you can go and just like crash on somebody's couch in like Honolulu for a couple
AKA
days
serial
or whatever. You know, it's
killer.com.
a little bit different than your normal bed and breakfast, you know, or your typical, you know.
It's no Airbnb.
It's no Airbnb. Let's put it that way.
You wake up and leather faces over you. What the hell?
Yeah, no, quite literally. It's one of those you
Air
know,
bum.
I didn't sign up for this.
found in the column right next to the Craigslist dates. And, you know, it was one of those interesting things where, like, he was literally staying on people's couches and now, like, lives here full time, making his living off music.
Yeah.
He teaches
Rags to
guitar.
riches.
He, you know, well, it is the fact of, it's how hard you work. It's what you do.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know. I guess
He's
for
doing
me,
good at it. He's doing good at it. That's what matters.
well, and it's the
Yeah.
same way whenever you say like, "What's your favorite band?" It's who
And
works
I
hard.
only threw that out there just to spur a conversation.
Hey, hit me up next time, Brian. I'll be number 31 at that concert, and when they come around, you know.
Yeah,
I'll go with
Who,
you.
the Scorpions?
and there are a lot of
You
shows.
said there was about
that-
30 people. I'll be 31.
There are quite honestly a lot of shows that I go to because like I will
Dude,
always
I
go
would
to.
show you a Crowbot video right now and you'd lose your mind.
We'll have to check that out after the show.
That's why I like
I
Brian.
wish I'd have known about
He
it
wants to show-
beforehand.
Pull
I'd
up
have
your- on your
downloaded
thing
it.
here.
Don't you remember, Chris?
Unfortunately, even if I pull it up, the audience would not be able to hear it because of the interface.
Yeah,
I
plus
have to
you
have
probably-
it as an
you'd
MP3
pay, like, some,
file.
like,
Hey, Chris,
royalties
don't
or
you
something.
remember? Brian likes to show videos.
He does.
Oh, weird.
Brian is all about videos on air.
He likes videos.
No.
That's cold as ice. Don't do that.
What band was that? Yeah, I was gonna say. I knew it. I knew Brian would.
Cold as ice.
Brian's on the same brainwave right here.
But you know, it is one of those. Whenever you are talking about going out in Austin, it's an odd situation because people will only go so far, north or south.
Right.
The
Like-
river.
Yeah.
I
mean,
no, dude. I mean, like when I was going to college here, William Cannon was the end of the world.
Oh yeah.
I mean, nobody went south of William.
When the
Cannon.
hell was that?
I wouldn't.
What year were you here? What the hell was that?
Like 94.
90. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's considered.
Nobody went south of William Cannon.
Yeah, I know.
It's,
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Nobody goes there.
and then
That's
you look
my
at the,
sweet spot. I don't like to go north of.
I don't like to go to Pflugerville or Georgetown.
Campus,
You don't go.
basically.
You don't
I
go
don't wanna
north
go
of
north
2222,
of
and you don't go
campus.
south of
No,
William
I'm
Cannon.
the
If
same
it's
way.
over
Those
that
are the
river.
boundaries.
Used
Yeah.
to be
You
like
don't go over
I
that
didn't wanna go
damn
north of,
river,
like,
and I'm
6th
fine.
Street, but now it's like campus. I don't want to go north of campus.
That's kind of bad, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It do what it do.
Well, and
you
it
and your
is.
racist South Austinites.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why is it racist?
It's
See,
not.
the thing, Richard goes all over the
I
damn
lived in
place.
East Austin.
Dude, I'll
He
look at
does.
his shit, and
He
Richard's
does.
like everywhere, east, west.
Yeah, I'm.
Well,
He's-
because he lives
yeah.
north, but a lot
Richard
of his
is
people are
everywhere
I
you
south.
admire
wanna
that
be.
though. I admire that.
Like Ma
He's
Bell
chasing storms like a
at L
mofo.
Communication.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does. He's a storm chaser.
Well,
He is, we have got to do an episode about that sometime.
I was on
we need
break.
to.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Dude, let's do a live dudes and beer from storm chasing.
Right.
No.
Well, that'll be next spring because
No.
we're done with storm chasing.
Well,
Also
oh no,
not
let's
me.
do it.
You'll need
I'm
like
down.
a fake helicopter.
Let's
like
hit it.
Let's do it.
Let's hit it.
No, Amy
Because-
doesn't want you to
and
go
you
be
should
a
have-
storm
one of the
chaser.
Can't
things
have
I
dudes and
wanted
beer.
to do.
Right?
I
Driving.
noticed that there is
She
This is
doesn't
Stephen
care.
Bishop here calling
Do
in
you
from
have life insurance?
Storm Chaser 1.
Storm
Something
chaser
like
worm
that.
coming in right now.
There's-
Then all right,
We're
carry
chasing
on.
a big old
There's
damn
a certain
storm
amount of
right
money
here.
buried in a jar in a backyard somewhere in Louisiana.
No,
Wait a
no,
minute.
no.
Wait a minute.
Get
You
a
But I
jumped
can't
right.
necessarily,
policy before you storm chase.
say
You can't
how
have
much it
people
is
buried in the
or in
backyard.
whose backyard it is.
The only chance we
Um,
have doing any storm chasing this fall is if a tropical storm comes our way.
Oh, it'll happen.
It'll
We're way
happen.
overdue. We're long overdue,
we are.
dude.
We are actually.
But I got
well
people
overdue.
in Galveston we can stay with. We're all set.
Good.
Don't worry about it. We can get like first-hand footage. We'll be square in the middle of it, man.
It's good time.
That's. I mean,
My mom has a hurricane key.
What do
house
what
in
do
the
I
valley.
strap myself
Yeah.
to so I don't get blown away?
Yeah.
What is it? The
well,
pole
the
outside?
trick is to strap yourself to a palm tree.
yeah,
quite
because those
honestly.
things will never get blown away.
Yeah,
They might get blown over, but they will never get blown away.
Strap yourself to a palm tree.
yeah.
Man,
Tie
that's-
down, ratchet
It
strap.
will definitely be my last.
That is
live-
definitely the first line to a great song.
Yeah.
I like it though. I like it.
Strap yourself
I
to
like
a palm tree.
Get after it, songwriter.
My
Get after
uncle
it.
claimed he did that. He held onto a pole or something, and he was flying or something. He said like a flag, but I mean, who knows if that's true or not?
No,
but you
I
know,
mean,
and then you hear stories about a piece of straw through like a steel pole.
Oh no,
I
no,
like that,
those.
you know?
I have
Yeah.
seen that.
Yeah.
Those,
I have seen
I
that.
wouldn't
Yeah.
go as far as a steel pole, but they
no, but
definitely.
it will put a toothpick through a brick wall.
Right,
Oh,
right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it'll
That I have
definitely,
seen
it'll
with my own
definitely
eyes.
There's
put
been
like,
some anomalies that's been
it'll
like,
definitely
what?
put straws through 2x4s,
Yeah.
things like that. Like
Yeah.
it's
And
it's pretty incredible. It
It's-
is.
in the situation with tornadoes,
Yeah.
and this is probably getting
kind of like
way
the
deeper
Bruce
than we
Lee
need to get
deal
right now.
you
But
know?
That's all right.
It's a
with
chi or
tornadoes,
something.
it's not so
The
much the wind
chi
as it
of
is the
nature.
pressure change.
Yeah.
So it opens everything up.
Well,
Bruce
and
Lee
that's
goes-
just it. What about
Bruce
Bruce
Lee.
Lee?
He's like, you look at the finger, you not see the moon.
What the hell is what the f- are you talking about, man?
I like this. It's getting somewhere.
No, no, that's not.
You only see the finger, you not see the moon.
Well, and it
Okay,
is
it
the
didn't go
fact
anywhere,
of-
but yeah,
you,
it was.
You
all
do
right.
have to learn to see both the forest and the trees.
Yes.
You're absolutely correct.
No,
Brian.
he's talking about seeing the
Yeah.
moon instead of the finger.
Yeah,
You only see the finger.
yeah. Well, it's seeing what's pointing at the object and the
I
object
see the
itself
finger every
at the
day.
same
That's no
time.
damn big deal.
Oh, there it is.
Especially when I'm driving
Speaking
on
of the finger,
I-35.
Richard
As if
is
on cue.
actively giving you the finger from across the table. And
He
on
likes
that note, everybody, I'd like to thank our former guests who showed up this evening. We had Brian Smith and Richard Adams, Jeffrey Gottlieb. We also had
Yes.
the owners of
James and Sandy
Stouthaus,
Hughes.
James and Sandy Hughes here on the show. Thank you so much for having us. It was fantastic. It was great. Thank you so much for everybody
Thanks,
that came
guys.
out, took up all the awesome Dudes and Beer glasses.
Yes,
Make sure to
yes.
take your glasses home. Make sure to download the app. Make sure to check out the all new.
Stay tuned. There's so much more.
Barley
This is just year
Cognizant.
2.
Barley Cognizant is launched,
Barley
which
Cognizant.
is the official Dudes and Beer blog, as well as World According to Congos,
And the forums.
who we expect to have on soon to talk about some of the creation of
Good.
that new comic
And
strip.
next week we've
So-
got
What a great
Raoul's
artist.
Royal Foot. September we have all charity all the time.
That's right.
It's going to be a whole charity month.
We also have Radical
Gives
Empathy
Back.
coming up on the 22nd, which is some sweet virtual reality technology and stuff like that. We are also looking at having Pinksky.com on talking about small brand advertising, all that kind of good stuff. So
Hey,
until
man,
next time,
that's a
everybody.
good one, Dan.
Thank you so much for listening to Dudes and Beer. Thank you
For
so
2
much
years.
for continuing to enjoy everything that we do. Thank you so much for tuning in all the time. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. If you can't be good,
Be good
be
at
good
it.
at it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Dudes and Beer Podcast. To listen to our audio streams and chat with us live, download the official Dudes and Beer app for both Android and iDevices, available on the Google Play and iTunes markets. For more episodes, content, and information, visit us online at dudesandbeer.com. You can also find our episodes on Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast service. Dudes and Beer is a proud member of the Revolution Digital Group family of podcasts. Thanks for listening, everybody, and until next time, drink responsibly.